obviously the last time, we spoke about the boxing and Dana very adamant, you guys not boxing. You gave your response. But the other thing that's kind of the big talking point is like Conor Benn getting 15 million. Apparently it's rubbing a lot of UFC fighters the wrong way. I don't think I have to say much more than that. Do you got any thoughts about it?
I
About
mean,
Conor
I
Benn
got a
getting
lot of
15 million?
I got a lot of thoughts on it, right?
Yeah.
And I just keep it real. If you could have gave anybody in boxing, anybody, why kind of been, you know, like if we really talking, right? I don't think the discussion would have been the same if it was a Usyk, right? I don't think the conversation would have been the same if it was a person like not even Canelo. I'm sorry. What's a good name I've been thinking about? He's young. He's young, molten, right?
Kermel Moten.
Right?
Yeah, with Floyd.
Because we already know that potential level that he can be at. But you give it to a random ass dude who barely got a following himself and only got a following because he a junior, right? And that's because of his dad. He used
Never
to
won a
box
belt.
back in the day. Never, you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
15 million for one fight, not for 3 fights put together. You know what I'm saying? Was 5, 5, and 5. You talking about for one fight, 15 million, and then who is he gonna fight? So what you finna pay them? So it's a lot that we can talk about because at the end of the day, in my personal opinion, as much as they talk about Turk, Alex Sheik ain't said nothing about no Conor Benn, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah. He
He
hasn't
ain't
really said
promoted that
much.
boy.
Mm-hmm.
So where y'all talking about y'all got this money from? This money came from the backs of UFC fighters.
Mm.
You humming, but that's where it came from. Zuffa Boxing has been created from the UFC. And they
Yeah.
took all the profit that they made and they created another promotion. I'm not mad at it. That's their business. They do whatever they want with their money, right? But don't lie about it once we
See,
find out.
you don't buy it when they say, "Oh, that's
Hell
Turkey's
no.
money. That's Turkey's money."
Yeah, that's Turk. No, because Turk
Yeah.
ain't spending no 15 million on no kind of band.
Mm. Okay.
Even if he can wipe that money with his ass, he not finna spend that on no. If anything, they gonna add that up, run that up, and be like, "Hey, bud, come back for one more." You know, we got something for you. I just can't believe it. To me, I just can't believe it, and I don't take it personal. I don't take it as a thing that surprised about. We know this. We been know this, right?
Mm.
If we feel some type of way about it, then be boisterous. Then speak up about it, right? But you ain't gonna have many guys that's willing to do that because they don't have the heart or they don't have the desires to actually aspire to be that guy to be the top dude to get paid that type of money. Because we not gonna act like the UFC ain't giving that money out to UFC fighters because who just got a big bag? Alex Pereira.
Alex Pereira. Yeah.
8-fight contract deal. They claiming it's $10 million per fight.
10 million per
Right?
fight.
10 million. I've been in the UFC longer than Alex Pereira. Now, Alex Pereira's been able to do tremendous things within his career, right? With the help of Izzy, right? With that help, with that push from the UFC, right? With skipping some stuff. But still, I still got to give my flowers where the flowers is due. He's still putting in that work to go where he's at, right? But that just showed you the money out there to be made. You just gotta go get it.
Right. So if Conor Benn's worth 15 million, how much you think Conor McGregor's worth?
Way more than that.
Way more than that, right? So in
Yeah.
Conor's next fight, I mean, Conor's a bad example because I think Conor does
Conor
get
ain't
his
never
value.
coming back because he make enough money.
Yeah. But okay, here's what I'm really trying to say is it's like Dana says you guys should be happy for Conor Benn because rising tides lifts all boats. So do you expect to see, UFC fighters getting this 15 million?
I don't know
More
what
than
kind of
15
right-wing
million.
conservative little dodge that is, bro. That Dana try to flip on y'all. But if
You
you
guys should be
believe
happy
that,
for him.
if y'all believe that's crazy. All I'm saying is when I see the reflection, right, of what the UFC is able to pay, that's what I'm going at, right?
Yeah. I
It
think
ain't
that's what's the
nothing
biggest thing.
it's
It
nothing
shows that they have
personal.
that money to pay.
They got it. They
They
got it. They
got it.
been had it.
They
Been
exposed
had it.
themselves.
But the thing is though, I'm not worried about them paying every fighter like that because everybody don't deserve to get paid like this.
I agree with
Until
you.
fighters actually going out there, man, and really doing their job and really being a professional athlete and really going out there and making the best of our sport, then okay, then we can make the argument. But a lot of y'all motherfuckers is trash. I'm gonna keep it real.
I completely
In
agree.
the
I can't even
organization
disagree.
that we in, is watered down with
Super watered
motherfuckers
down.
that think they know how to fight. You know? So I can't be mad at the UFC. It's just my thing is fuck all that because look at the fights that I put on. When I'm gonna get my look, you know, but I realize this is where that blessing coming from, right? I'm not stupid. I'm recognizing the UFC blessed me with Brady, not the other way around. People keep talking about stylistically, this is a bad matchup because of what Usman did to me. How the fuck can you take what Brady has done within his career and then compare that to a nigga like Usman? How?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. I've been telling people, I'm like, so wait, you guys think that like Brady just walks through Usman or something? Like, how the fuck is this math adding up to where like Usman beats Buck, so it's 100% guaranteed Brady's gonna beat Joaquin? Like, that makes no sense to me. But that's what a lot of people think. Because you lost to Usman, you're gonna lose to Brady. It's like, bro, it's not even a
But
guarantee that Brady beats Usman. What are you talking about?
but this is where I'm gonna say this, right? RIP to my man Roger Mayweather. Roger Mayweather.
Rest in peace, Roger. Yeah.
Uh they don't know shit about boxing. These motherfuckers don't know shit about fighting. People just don't know shit about fighting. All the videos that you watch, all the pay-per-views you paid for, you know what I'm saying? And they feel like, hey, I'm so invested. They think that everything that they watch, you know, is a granted truth. But if you ain't actually been in there, if you haven't actually trained and been through the gyms and worked with all world-class fighters, then you don't know what the fuck you talking about. And then half the time, them motherfuckers don't know what they talking about. You know?
No, I
You got
feel
to
you.
really have a concrete mind when it comes to like the skill sets of others, right? You can't just put everything into a striking box, a grappling box, let's say, even the finishes, right? You know, like the setup and for every person that's in a particular style, in a particular discipline, and a particular ability that they might have is the reasons why they able to get whatever rewards from they finish, right? So if I'm explaining it with Sean Brady has never been a tremendous grappler, but the only guys that he has been able to take down are the people that suffered at stopping shots. You know, the people that he's been able to submit, right? Had a hard time even getting off of their back because yet again, that's where they already naturally struggled at. That's just my personal opinion, you know. But when you fight somebody and when you face somebody that's hard to get to the ground, right? That you're not able to use your tools against, right? Which is a Bilal, which is a Michael Morales, right? And in my eyes, and in my personal opinion, when you look at those two styles, right? Neither one of those guys are better grapplers than me. A lot of people like to argue, oh, Bilal is, but me and Bilal work. So I know personally he ain't no better grappler than me, right? But he stopped every single one of Sean Brady's shots, every single one of them. It's gonna be a hard night for Brady, man.
Okay, I got you. And just to wrap up this conversation about the money thing with Conor Benn, I just want to say this. I mean, number one, I feel like the UFC fighters in response to the Conor Benn signing, you guys got to start like maybe demanding more money in the negotiations, like shoot a bit higher. But it's also to say like to compare it, it's like Ilya should be making 30 million in his next fight, no? 25 million,
I
20
don't know about
million.
that. Look, you gotta recognize a lot of these motherfuckers already making money outside, right? So let me explain this to you, right? These foreign motherfuckers are getting help. They getting sponsored, right? They getting taken care of. Ilya already got big motherfucking mansions, right? Nice motherfucking cars, arming, flying in PJs. You know what I'm saying? Alex Ferreira got the whole favela on lock. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the only motherfuckers that's struggling is the American fighter. That's
But
it.
even, okay,
So
but
I'm
let's
not concerned about the rest of them niggas because they getting their money, they getting their bread, right? I'm not concerned about them.
but even if it like let's make Ilya American. He should be getting like 20 to 25, right? More than Conor Benn is all I'm saying. I'm trying to get justice for the UFC fighters.
You want justice for them. I
You
don't want
don't,
justice for me.
you're like shit. Okay, so you're a double
I'm
champ, you
selfish.
know?
Because like I said, ain't nobody working like me. To the degree that I'm working, how I'm promoting my fights. Yet again, I'm gonna be out in Miami promoting my fight, my bout. Even if it's not about me talking about Sean Brady, I'm gonna get people invested in watching me, right? I just want the UFC to do the same thing to invest in me so I can start having my own shit here in St. Louis. You know, I haven't been able to do even 70%, 80% of the shit that I really want to do because I ain't got the funds. I ain't got the money. And they say, but don't make it about the money. Don't make it about the money. Nigga, then what is it about?
Bro, it's all about the money. We wouldn't do half the shit we do if it wasn't for the money.
You know,
But it's your passion at the same time. So I think that's
it's
the
in my
most important thing.
and that's what I love about it, right?
Yeah.
I was doing this shit for free for the longest time, right? So I've always expected that this sacrifice and that this commitment that I had to this game was going to eventually pay off, and it will, right? But I have to just also understand that if you don't say nothing, it's not going to happen for you, right? I'm not speaking for everybody because I don't believe everybody deserves it, to be honest with you.
I completely agree. It's a whole different conversation, but yeah, half these guys, they rely on the UFC to do shit for them. It's like you're doing all that stuff on your end and you saying, I'd like the UFC to kind of like pick up their slack. That's a whole nother conversation. A lot of guys in the UFC aren't even promoting themselves on their end. So it's like, how do you expect the UFC to pick up the slack for you? You're not even promoting your damn self. But
Right.
for you, that's why I call you $1 million fighter, because number one, you get knockouts, super exciting. You don't put on boring performances. And then on top of that, you promote yourself, you understand the game, not afraid to put things out in the open. The only thing we're missing is the UFC. I think that if you would have beat Usman, the UFC would have been like, the whole machine would have been behind you. So maybe it's just a little bit delayed, but I think it's coming.
It is coming, right? It just wasn't my time.
You would have got the
But
title shot if you beat Usman and all that shit, in my opinion.
maybe it's still debatable.
Yeah,
It's still debatable. But I would say this though, right? And I'll end it on this. You know what I'm saying? It's not the promotion fault that I'm not getting what I'm feeling like I want.
Whose fault
It's
is
the
it?
the fan base. The fan base, as big as we are here in America, right? And as many people and as many fights that we hold domestically, they will rather cheer somebody else's name from another place in another country than the one that's right at home with them.
Wild.
And that's why. We just gonna keep it real. That's the real reason.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the fighters. And also I would even add to that and say that the fighters also follow Dana White, like he's their cult leader, and they repeat all of his rhetoric.
Fans,
Yeah, and instead of being supportive of actual fighters, they're more supportive of Dana White than they are of the actual fighters.
Because anything that Dana say is true, is gold, right?
Yeah, they love
it. And we be knowing this bullshit. And as much as I respect Dana, I still want to hold him responsible for the things that he said and the things that he do because it has great effects on us. You know what I mean? And truly, I do believe that Dana, he don't care about promoting the UFC no more. And we all know this, right? This ain't like, he do what he what he needs to do, right? And he says what he needs to say in order for people to receive it, right? Because he is the face of the UFC, but he ain't passionate about it like he used to be. You know what I mean? He's not for the sport like he used to be. Because if he was, he wouldn't be on Power Slap so much. He wouldn't be on Zuffa Boxing so much. He wouldn't be so excited about some bull, you know what I'm saying, hopping around and, doing whatever, right? Like, he'd be trying to make sure that he makes the biggest fights at the biggest time, you know what I'm saying, for the world to see. And we ain't seen that in probably the last 8 years, 10 years. Yeah.
I got a random thought that it's almost like maybe ever since the UFC got bought, he's just trying to find his new like thing that he owns because he kind of works for, WME and all these guys. So maybe it like took away his personal like project within the UFC. Like he doesn't see the personal gain anymore because it's owned by other people.
It
So maybe
is. He
that's why
said it
he's
out
like not as
again.
focused.
He said it out his mouth, right?
Oh, he said
He
that?
said, he said it out his own mouth. You know what I'm saying? And you can catch me if I'm lying. But he said, I'm gonna run this business how I want to run this business. This is Danny. But when I feel like it's time to get this game up, I'm gonna let the vultures have it. You know what I'm saying? And they can have the pickings, right? So sometimes I also say, right, sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Because now we got a whole nother group of people that we don't even see that we work for. And we don't even know we work for them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the UFC still looks the same when they talk about the body, but the inside is completely different, right?
Well, they just cut off the Strickland post-fight interview and shit like that. That's never happened in the history.
Never.
Yeah.
But that was somebody's call. Whoever that was somebody's call. Like, yeah, turn that off real quick.
Our advertiser's not gonna like that shit.
Yeah, come on now. But because it's now we talking about $1 billion business, $1 trillion business, if anything, for real, for real.